Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine and this is going to be the weekly reading from, I was going to say January, then I was going to say June. I'm like, no, it's March. Oof, that's not a good sign. Now I've lost my train of thought. Oh, the joys of aging. Anyway, this is the weekly reading for March 7th through the 14th for twin flames and soulmates that are currently in separation. I made up another new spread. So let us see what the questions are here because I don't remember. We have here, what is the overview for the week? What is the central theme or issue? And what is at the root? So this is kind of like what needs to be done and what we should be aspiring to, kind of. And here is the advice in regards to this row. And then we have, what is the masculine currently thinking about himself? Same for the feminine. What is the masculine thinking about the feminine? Same question for the feminine side. What the masculine would like the feminine to do. The feminine would like the masculine to do. What is the masculine willing to do? Same question for the feminine. And then we have advice for them both. And then we're also going to clarify. Please keep in mind these readings are general. So take what resonates and leave the rest. If it doesn't coincide with your situation, it's not your message. And we'll try again next week. Keep in mind, too, that masculine and feminine stand more for energy than gender. So, again, whatever side resonates, that is you. All the monthly readings are up for the different signs. And, of course, if you'd like a personal reading, all the information is in the box below. So let's get into it. The overview is to clean it up. And we're going to read from this in the book, but this is basically saying, get the lead out. We have to clean it up. We have to, whatever this issue is, whatever people are still doing that are keeping them from moving forward, or keep them stuck, or whatever it is, clean it up. Get it done so that we can, I got a string here, it's going to make me bananas. Shh, we'll just tuck it underneath so no one sees. I'll cut it later. But it's just, we need to get it done because the central thing here is the hermit. It's about, going within. It's also about being committed to your spiritual path. Find or be a mentor, take a break. Again, it's go within, figure out what you got to figure out, release whatever you got to release, go into that noggin of yours or in your soul or whatever and clean it out, clean it up, and the reason for that is because it's keeping you both still separated. We have here separation, time apart from your partners on the horizon. Now, what did I say this was? Sorry. This is what happens when we try out brand new spreads. This is the advice for you both. The advice is, yes, be assertive. And I'm going to read from this. But basically, it's telling you, take charge. Again, get the lead out. Do what you got to do. Clean it up. Figure out what it is that you want to say. Figure it how you want to go about doing whatever. But it's like they're saying it's time to take action. So let us read. Well, first, this assertive. I mean, we don't have to call figure out what yes means, right? Everybody knows what yes means. Be assertive. This situation calls for you to take matters into your own hands. You must get clear on your personal feelings and then pursue the fulfillment of your desires with courage and self-confidence. Ask for what you need without watering down your requests in order to satisfy others. Remember that seeing to your own needs is nothing to apologize for. Set boundaries with those around you in order to create safe and a fair environment. Tailor your actions so that you earn the respect from others that you deserve, and then move forward. So again, it's one of the lessons for the feminine. A lot of it was setting boundaries. Too much jumping through hoops, too much trying to prove their love, prove their worth, whatever, trying to get someone else to see that. And that was the lesson for them, that has to come from within themselves, and you shouldn't be doing that with anyone. There was a dynamic here where one was more the giver and one was more the taker. So again, having boundaries is important. And sometimes, and we even have a boundaries card over here, it's like sometimes with setting boundaries though, when we become more assertive, when we stand our ground, we become, we're not doormatty anymore. We're not going to, especially if you've gone through a karmic cycle and you've come out the other side through much pain that you've grown through because you went through so much pain in the situation, you're not going to go back to who you were or how you were. And you're not going to really resonate with somebody who's still behaving in the same way that they used to. It's like they have to match your new frequency or you can't connect. And I think that the feminine has already kind of gone through her thing. And she's been hoping for the masculine to catch up, to wake up, to evolve, to, stop being deceptive, to whatever the situation was with you two. And there's been frustration because she hasn't been seeing that. A lot of people wanting to, sweep things under the rug, not discuss in detail what happened, not wanting to, own their role in the relationship's demise, try to downplay things again, or, minimize, trivialize, deflect, lie to cover up the lies that they were caught in. Like the list can go on and on. I know that was my situation. And I'm like, if I'm going to keep getting met with the same old, again, people get tired of trying to give another person a chance who, and in all honesty, they might not even feel like they even deserve to have that chance. But if they're trying to be, look at it all from a spiritual perspective and they're trying to follow advice, they might have extended their olive branch maybe more than once since this situation fell apart. But they kept getting met with the same behavior. So if you don't see any growth, if you don't see any reciprocity, if you don't see any reason to keep engaging with someone or whatever, a lot of feminines have shut down. A lot of feminines don't want to talk. A lot of feminines are like, because it's not worth putting in the effort if it's not being matched. If you don't have any confidence being instilled in you that, yes, I've learned, I've grown, this is what my role was. This is what I'm willing to do to change it. Again, I've learned from my mistakes. Can you forgive me? Like these kind of conversations need to be had. Not, I don't want to talk about it, or you keep making a big deal out of it, or, you keep wanting to live in the past, or whatever excuse that might have been coming up. Again, people, if they keep getting met with that, they're going to start losing interest. And I think a lot of feminines kind of shut down. A lot of feminines, because they have their boundaries, which they should have. But at the same time, they've been hopeful that the masculine, again, was going to show up and show again that they've learned, that they've grown, and that they can work it out somehow. And I think that because the feminine is kind of shut down, that created the spark in the masculine to kind of see, well, I guess I cannot engage the same way that I did before. I cannot be the same way that I did before because she's not going to play. She's not going to play that game. So he's realizing that, and in a way, it's like you respect someone more when they don't allow you to keep getting away with behavior patterns that are really destructive for you. I mean, because that's love. It may seem like people are at odds because, again, if you're wanting to stay stuck in your same karmic behavior and the other person isn't letting you because they've learned, they've grown, and they're like saying, come on, you can do it too. Show me, give me something, give me some reason to want to even entertain this again or think about it, because again, there was a lot of lies, there was a lot of deception. So you got to prove yourself. And if you're trying to avoid talking about what you did, or again, owning your role and actually saying something that is, again, showing somebody that you'd be, because people want to make wise investments, and they don't want to waste their time again. They don't want to be hurt again. So if you're showing the same old, that's what they're saying. Clean it up. Go within. Do your soul searching, whatever it is that you've got to do to get you out of self-limiting things, behaviors, or just the way that you engage. It's like that stuff's got to go. It's time to evolve. And I think that the masculine is kind of seeing that, at least we hope. Because here we have clean it up. Let's take a look at what clean it up is. 21. Hope I didn't ramble too much. But I know that people, like I said, people get tired of trying to work things out with people who just continue to be the same way. Still lie to cover up the lies. Avoid talking about it because, again, it shines a light on their bad behavior. And nobody wants to acknowledge that about themselves. They just sort of pretend it didn't happen. And it's like, well, you can't do that, especially if you're looking to reconnect with somebody that you really hurt. Why should they sweep it under the rug? They're entitled to have an open dialogue, a discussion. They're entitled to that, especially if you're looking to be forgiven. It's like, well, show them that you're really sorry. Speak the words. Speak the truth. Stop hiding behind masks. Stop letting your ego keep you stuck. But again, this is all conditioning, childhood wounding. 21. I'm sorry, I should have put the paper in here. Getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. Again, all the things that are holding you back. Ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home? Also, too much work, overwhelmed, time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds up to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. Relationship message, time to clear the air. Take a look at your side of the street and say what's on your mind. Sweep away the old self so that a spring breeze can flow through with new energy. It's the perfect time to do an inventory of your dynamics and see what's yours and see what's not yours, to clean up the relationship. Everyone brings some baggage. Sort through what you brought with you and let go of what is no longer needed. Become unencumbered and your relationship will flourish. Again, it's about honest, heart-to-heart conversations, reciprocal dialogues, not one person saying everything and the other person not saying nothing. You know, that silent treatment stuff is dead. You know, it's like people got to grow up and learn how to communicate. You can't have something that was so important and have a conversation just be one-sided again, because people lose interest. It's like at a certain age, you shouldn't be doing that. you should be able to engage in mature two-way conversation and not shut down when confronted with stuff that you do that is unhealthy, wrong, even for yourself, you know, behavior patterns or things that are hurtful. It's like you gotta hear that person out. You got to have empathy for that person's feelings, and you have to make a genuine effort. Again, sweeping stuff under the rug, lying to cover up lies, pretending things weren't as bad as they were, all that stuff is like, every time you do that, it's like you're spitting in their face, and people get turned off. So, clean it up. Own your stuff. Have the talks. Because it has to happen. That's the only way things are going to really be healed. Time heals things, yes, but it also can linger resentment because a person isn't stepping up to the plate. And eventually, like I said, people get tired of waiting. And, you know, an apology 5 years from now isn't going to happen. I mean, isn't going to matter. I mean, people, again, it's like, and letting stuff go only makes it worse. It has to be talked about, especially if you want to heal it and reconnect, or it's just going to stay stagnant. Now we have the Hermit here, which we will look at. It's, I use my cards in case I forget anything. And plus there's more meanings that I put here. The Hermit card, it's about achievement, growth, and accomplishment, attaining of a spiritual pinnacle, and ready to share knowledge with others. It's continuing a path of your choosing, committed to ultimate awareness. It's a path of initiation, wisdom, power, authority, you know, to be a leader. It's the ability to use isolation and knowledge gained as a tool towards enlightenment, spiritual attainment. It's willing to climb the heights to wisdom, searching for the truth, attainment of goals and wisdom. Again, it's a 9, so it's about accomplishments. So again, it's about self-reflecting. Self-reflecting and having a talk. An honest conversation. No more trying to hide or downplay what was done and what was, you know, give this person a reason to want to invest in you again. Because if you don't show up as somebody who's can do that, then who's to say that in the future, again, you're giving this person no confidence in you that you won't lie again. And that when you are caught in those lies, that you won't lie to cover up those lies or downplay it or engage it again in the same behavior that you have been since you separated, the same behavior that you had been when you were in it. It's like you're not showing them any growth. And that's why, you know, they're not really communicating. Well, we'll get into that. Let's look at first I'm sorry if I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, because I have kind of gone in a different order. I did this pretty much first. And separation, like I said, we don't really have to get too much into that. You know, this is what's needed to get out of this separation. Self-reflection and talks. The masculine, what is the question? What he's thinking about himself. is the King of Pentacles. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of codependency issues, people in codependent relationships, you know, and more repeating karmic cycles. And a lot of masculines, when they left this codependent karmic situation, they just jumped into another. You know, so it's about, for both of them too, finances and career comes out a lot. It's playing a big part in some people's karma. They have, you know, financial karma they need to work through in this life, where they're not struggling all the time. It's like finding that balance in your financial life, in that area, you know, health, relationships, spirituality, and finances. Those are like the 4 areas of your life that you should have balanced to be, I won't say fulfilled, but balanced. Just, those are the 4 areas that, you know, should all be balanced out. And some people have certain areas that they need to work on. And for the masculine and for the feminine, you know, a lot of it has had to do with finances. So he's thinking about that. You know, he's wanting to get his finances in check, and he's also thinking about, you know, wanting to make an offer, something that is practical, you know, it's stable, he's thinking long-term commitments, security, you know, stability. It's an investment, you know, he's wanting to invest in this relationship and in himself. Again, he's thinking about getting his money situation together. It's, you know, it's also about determination, ultimate fulfillment. You know, he wants to become like the King of Pentacles. This is what he's working towards. He wants to get himself together. He wants to get out of his karmic cycles, you know, the majority of them. Like I said, he's going through his awakening now. He's kind of going through his stuff, but he's still got his fears. He's still trying to hang on to that old way of being. But again, he's starting to see that he can't be that way anymore with her. So, and I say her, it could be, you know, like I said, it's not gender, it's energy. But when he sees that aloofness, that downplaying, that continuing to tell half-truths, gaslighting, whatever it is, again, try to put himself in a not-so-bad light, you know, that turned this side off, because they weren't holding themselves truly accountable, and they weren't allowing this person to feel seen, heard, valued, understood, like that you care how I feel. You know, when you're trying to downplay what happened and you're trying to throw things under the rug, you're not acknowledging the pain that you caused somebody. You're minimizing it. And that doesn't make a person feel valued. That doesn't make a person feel loved. It doesn't make a person feel cared for. And it doesn't make a person feel like they want to, again, invest in somebody who's not showing that they give a shit. Basically, it's like their own protecting their own image or ego is more important to them than acknowledging this side and showing genuine remorse, having heart-to-heart conversations, like admitting things that they did specifically, not these glazed over, because those are just cop-outs. Those are just wanting to shut people up and forget about it, and let's just pretend like nothing happened. It's like, well, that doesn't work that way. If you completely destroyed another person, you better be willing to have heart-to-heart conversations. You better be willing to own your role, because that person is not going to trust you. That person, especially if they're seeing, again, the same behavior. So he's wanting to, he's acknowledging that that's not going to get him anywhere. That this situation is dying by the day. And unless he shows some genuine effort and change, this person is, again, shutting down. So that's the King of Pentacles. And how he feels again about the feminine is, will we have heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other, and worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Divine timing is all about, free will choices and the right time. The right time meaning both people got to be on the same page. It's like you gotta, things have to be just reach a certain temperature, or something. I'm trying to think of the word to say, but you know what I mean. It's like there are a few factors that work into divine timing. And again, divine timing, a lot of it is when the other person gets their aha moment and really starts to change their ways. Like I said, and that's when it's like, you've changed, now let's talk, now we can grow together. Not this person's growing and this person's staying the same. Eventually you just grow apart. So again, the masculine realizes this. The masculine's trying to get himself prepared to make an offer to the feminine. And they believe, they see the growth in the feminine. They see it. They know what they did, whether they want to talk about it or not. They know, and they're kind of gaining again, even though they may be feeling in their lowest and guilty and whatever, they acknowledge again the growth of the feminine. And they realize, this is certainly someone that I want to grow with. This is a person who's going to push me to be the best version of me that I can be. They're not going to allow me to stay stuck. They're not going to allow me, or they'll just leave me to my own devices. But it's a kind of a respect that's been gained here, along with the frustration, because again, a lot of people don't want to give up their ways because that's what's worked for them in the past. That's how they've gotten through life. So dropping a habit, especially a bad habit, everybody knows is difficult, and it doesn't happen overnight. But again, they realize the strength and the growth and the grace that the feminine has, even in regards to how they've still been trying to interact with them. It's like they've had their boundaries, they stick up for themselves, but they also can show some compassion, at the same time, but still holding their ground. And again, there's a respect for the feminine in that regard. Now, what is it that what would he like the feminine to do? Oh, no, I should do this here. I'm sorry. I'm jumping around. We'll get it better next week. This is a new spread. So this is, what does the feminine feel about herself? We have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Again, nobody feels like talking, because they feel like what is there left to say here? Nothing's moving. There's no communication. There's a lack, but obviously communication's on both their minds. That they know. So this is delays, frustrations. Holding off on communication. It's frustration, impatience. They keep looking for alternate ways to communicate, but it keeps being met with, again, walls. Again, wanting to hold off communication is kind of like, she's, like I said, there's no... She wants this, heart-to-heart conversations. And if she's getting, again, just shallow, like, it's not drawing her. It's not holding an interest for her. She's losing interest. She's if she hasn't already. So there's no interest to communicate because, again, she feels like it goes nowhere. But it's so funny. It's like, this is upside down, but this one is thinking I need to have it. So it's like, it's mirroring, you know, and once you have it, then I'm going to say you'll impress the feminine, but it's what she's been waiting for, to really see that you give a shit and that you have grown, you know, because she'd also be happy for you that she sees, you know, because obviously she cares and she wants you to change, you know, for the better. She wants you to get out of your karma. She wants you to, you know, she wants this to be released, you know, because it's heavy. It's a heavy thing to carry in this stagnancy and feeling stuck and people holding on to their pride and their ego or their resentments or their anger. It's like, that's what they said. They got to clean it up. It's like, you'll be both so much freer if you do. And how she's feeling. Well, you know, there's love there. Romantic feelings, your feelings are real, worth exploring. I mean, she's trying to figure out if there's love there, if it's worth exploring. But again, she's holding off because she's waiting to see something that will, again, draw her back in. And if it's just the same old, she ain't feeling it no more. We have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring it together. It's like, so she's trying to be positive. She's trying to whatever, but she's kind of washing her hands of it. And she's moving forward, moving on, doing whatever. It's like, you get tired of waiting. You get tired of waiting for people to step up. But I think because she's doing that, he feels that. And that's what's going to push him to finally say what he's got to say. So then we have, what would the masculine like the feminine do, is we have victory, communication, scandal, happiness, fame, gain, and battle. Basically, he'd like for them to have a talk, and he'd like for things to get resolved. He's hoping that they'll be able to have success and move forward and find happiness again. You know, he wants to talk about what happened. He wants to, you know, he's hoping that, if he does, that it'll help to kind of, you know, move things along or lay the past to rest. And I think, again, a lot of masculines have been holding off on doing this for a long time, dancing around it, throwing a few crumbs, but not really doing it, because, again, it's like, for people to be like, yes, I killed your dog, you know, I'm just throwing an example. It's like, well, I didn't really hurt it, you know, it was kind of again, it's like, you got to be honest. You want people to trust you again, you got to start with truth. Honesty. Don't try to rewrite history for somebody who was there. I mean, everybody has their view, but I mean, there's definitely, at least both people can acknowledge that something bad went on here. Bad enough for the situation to end. Two people had roles to play in it. So there should be two people discussing those roles. Again, not one side coming at this person and them just saying nothing. Or again, downplaying or lying to cover up stuff still. It's just like, again, it gets old. Nobody want to deal with that no more. So he's hoping that, again, if he finally does what he should have done probably a long time ago, that it'll enable you guys to move forward. Because we have here, what he's willing to do is, we have the Ace of Cups. Open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. And then we got the Fool, the dreamer. Embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. So he's willing to take a leap of faith and follow his heart, you know, go towards love. offer you love, thinking again long term, wanting to lay this to rest, wanting to move forward, because he knows that you're the one that he wants to be with. I don't think I need to clarify. Well, I can, but we're already 34 minutes in, so we may not. I don't know if people like long readings. What the feminine would like the masculine to do is wake up. Stop fucking listen. We got forgiveness. You know, this is, again, wanting to resolve the past as well, wanting to work on forgiveness. But in order to, you know, if someone wants to reconcile, again, show them that you have to show somebody that I don't say that you're worth forgiving, but that you're worth the effort again. You know, if you need to ask for forgiveness, then you need to be specific in what you're asking for forgiveness for. What did you do? What was your role? How did you act? What did you say? What did you, whatever it was, it's like, own your stuff. This is what she's waiting to hear. She's not waiting to hear, you know, downplays, more lies, avoidance, silent treatments. Again, it's not showing maturity. It's like dealing with a teenager. And if you're at a certain age, like I said, that's a major turnoff, because a big thing in successful relationships is communication. If you're not able to communicate with each other, you're going to have a whole lot of problems. If you're telling lies and half-truths and you're trying to do shady stuff and avoid whatever it is, there's no trust. So that kills a relationship. You know, not if you hurt someone and you don't want to acknowledge that, you know, by being specific in your apology, you're not showing that you care for that person, that you will do whatever you want, regardless of how it affects someone else. And when the person confronts you with it, you're just going to play it off like it wasn't so bad or whatever it is. Again, don't nobody want to deal with somebody who's like that. That's not somebody you can build with. That's not somebody you want to open up to again. So she's trying to tell you, dude, if you need to make some kind of offer here that is worth the effort. If you want to heal this heartbreak, if you want this not to be the end, you need to make a choice. You need to show that you've learned and you've grown and you've, again, learned lessons. And some masculines, again, are in other relationships, codependent relationships, that they're thinking about leaving to come here. But they've been hanging on the fence because, again, they've been putting off having this conversation because they just wanted to sweep things under the rug and move quick and pretend like it didn't, you know, and it's like, but he knows he's got to do this to get back this. And plus he's got to possibly deal with, you know, leaving the other person. So there's a lot of fears and hesitancy and putting things off. You know, people don't want to rip that Band-Aid off. But, you know, a lot of feminines are waiting for the masculine to make a choice. Stop letting things linger. Stop, again, because third-party situations, eventually people will move off. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really into third-party situations. It's choose me or lose me. I'm not nobody's side dish, side step, whatever it is, half-time, part-time. I'm a main dish. And you got to choose me, or I'm not hanging on the sidelines. So, again, a lot of feminines are tired of waiting for the masculine to make a choice, for the masculine to, again, have a heart-to-heart conversation. People get tired of waiting. So that's why the feminine's holding off. So she's saying, if you want me to accept an offer from you, you got to come at me the right way. Let's lay this to bed. You know, make your choice. Show me that you've grown. You know, let's really talk about what happened so that I know that in the future you will treat me better. Because you're showing me that you know how you treated me in the past wasn't good. So that's what she's looking for. That's why I said, and he knows that's what he's got to do. And what we have here is the Chariot as far as what she's willing to do. She's willing to move forward with you if you do that. Success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. And then we got the Ten of Pentacles. Take steps to ensure the financial security of your children and other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. Ten of Pentacles is the family card. So she's willing to build with you, build a life with you, to move forward with you. But you have to show her that you're worth the investment again. And if you, again, have been behaving in the same way that you were before, or you totally try to sidestep this conversation, and who knows, and this could be over a year that this conversation's been waiting to be had. Again, people like done waiting for people to grow up, to speak up. So I think, again, that's why the masculine is feeling that, and he's feeling like he's got to do that. In order for them to let sleeping dogs lie. Now, the advice for the masculine is the Metal King, discipline, armor, and boundaries. And then we have in the challenged position, the map maker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, and free will. So let's see what the advice for the masculine is. 37 and 24. I hope I didn't ramble. Did I ramble? The Metal King is strong and arrives to lend you his impenetrable shield of protection. No matter who sends you the criticism or jealousy, you will not be hurt. This ally also prompts you to think about setting healthy boundaries. When you do, no matter how uncomfortable that task may be, everyone will benefit. He asks you to make sure you know where you end and the other person begins. Others' emotions are not yours, no matter how empathetic you may be. Another of the Metal King's messages is to remind you how important it is to have a healthy sense of self-esteem. It's a good time to shine and be proud of what you have accomplished, especially if you have self-reflected, especially if you have grown. Don't keep that all to yourself. Show this person that you have. You know, it's like they want you to have the self-esteem, have the confidence, have the courage to go for your dreams, you know, to get yourself financially together, to follow your heart and be happy in regards to love, to have a fulfilling family life if that's what you want, to have stability, to have it all. But you got to have the confidence to pursue that. You got to have the courage to pursue that. Again, and don't keep all your thoughts and feelings or whatever to yourself, because you're keeping yourself stuck. You're keeping the situation stuck. You know, let it out. Clean it up. Free yourself. You know, it's about stepping into your own. You know, you can do it. So you can do it. In the challenge position, when the map maker of destiny appears, is a sign that you're being given an opportunity to transform fate into destiny. At birth, each human being is given a unique map with myriad maps that intersect with one another. Your map of destiny shows all the places you're meant to visit, places where you will be challenged to evolve into the highest aspects of the self. Remember that you're a spark of the divine come to earth to experience itself in human form. As such, your path is unique. It's also somewhat preordained, and fate represents the events in your life that were meant to happen and that you can't change. Faith is transformed into destiny according to how you respond to your circumstances. Destiny offers you the ability to make great opportunities out of fated experience, so free will and choice are possible at certain points on your map. Now is one of those times. You're faced with a relationship or circumstance brought to you by fate. How you respond will lead you into your perfect destiny. Your ally may assume the form of a soulmate, come to heal your heart and be your companion. Perhaps your challenger makes you face the things within you that must change in order for you to express your highest good. Maybe fate brings you an ally in the form of a wonderful new project, or a challenger in the form of a failed business. No matter which form they take, all are perfect expressions of fate inviting you to your destiny. Pay attention as your map unfolds now, and remember that fate makes the map, but destiny is determined by the manner in which you engage on your journey. That's why I said, get your courage, get your strength to open up, to show you've grown, to again go for your dreams, follow your heart. Don't let codependency keep you stuck. Don't let fears and all these things keep you stuck. Childhood wounding, whatever it is, they want you to just step into your divineness. They want you to have. They want everybody to have that. And this situation, especially if it was a soulmate situation, or especially if it was a twin flame situation, the two of you are brought together to teach each other something about yourselves that needed to be addressed, transcended, and healed. You're both the teacher and the student. So you should thank this person, both of you, even the one that hurt you. If it made you grow, they did their job. And during this separation, the two of you went through your stuff, and something you needed to separate. Probably the tower came in and separated you, something that was so bad that it had to end, because nobody was ending it. It was just staying in a karmic loop. So this time apart, again, was very important. And now fate is bringing you back together, an opportunity to make things right, to show you've learned, to show you've grown, and to become the highest and best version of yourself that you can be. And this person is going to help you in that on your journey. But it's up to you. Again, free will choices. We can choose to stay stuck. We can choose to stay in our old patterns of behavior, our old karmic ways, and keep repeating cycles. Or we can step into our power. And that's what the universe is encouraging you to do. That's what the feminine wants you to do. Now for the feminine. Her advice is the Dragon's Duel, inner conflict, morality, and conscious choice. And then the Camel Boy, small steps and asking for help. Now this, of course, is about, being in decision mode. Taking things at a slow, being willing to take things at a slow pace. We'll be all right. We got 23. The Dragon's Duel takes place at the proverbial fork in the road. It's both ally and challenger at once, as it represents the tension of opposites. Even though the truth is that we live in unity, we experience a duality of faith and doubt, love and fear, right and wrong, black and white. This aspect of your current experience asks you to accept that although you may be going one way, another may be calling you to change direction. Now is the time to inquire whether it's your ego or your soul leading you. There are always choices in life. Decision-making also solves inner conflict. If you're torn between two dragons, the one that you choose to feed will be the one that wins. Which one is it? If it's not the one that serves the highest of your intentions, deliberately feed the other, and duel will be won in your favor. And I think for a lot of feminines, the inner conflict is because there's no trust here anymore. No matter what you know about this person, yes, we have a spiritual connection. Yes, this person's my twin flame. Yes, this person's my soulmate. Again, if you've been really hurt by somebody, no matter what the cards say, you are afraid to go back into that situation. And you have every right to feel that way. And that's also causing you stress and anxiety and whatever, because you want to be true to your spiritual path, but at the same time, you want to be true to the new person that you grew into as a result of this painful situation. And if this person, again, you don't want to go back to whatever, you feel like you're just enabling this person still in their stuff. You're wanting them to show you a certain level of growth, a certain level of effort, a certain level of, again, acknowledgement in regards to the situation as a whole to make you feel safe enough. And I think that will ease a lot of the feminine's conflict if the masculine, again, shows himself in a different light. Now, 33. And trust is something that's going to be gained over time with consistent effort. You know, it's not just, you know, the words of the moment. It's every day being committed to each other, to yourself, to your growth, to your relationship. 33. When the camel boy comes as your ally, he reminds you that asking for help will bring in the right people to ease the burden of your life. Perhaps a wise person appears to give you advice. Maybe you're moving and suddenly a couple of friends offer to give you a hand with your packing, or you want information about someone and you just happen to run into his former partner who gives you the knowledge you may need to make the decision you've been weighing. No matter the issue, this is a sign that if you ask, you will receive what you need. Synchronicities engage when you request assistance. The camel boy never lets you down when you ask for help in lightening your load. Now is the time to do so and to expect to get it. So this obviously, you know, maybe there needs to be some other way to kind of put it out there. You know, maybe there needs to be more clearer communication, like, you know, this is what I need from you. This is what I need from you in order to help me feel at ease. This is what I need from you in order to help me to work on forgiveness. And if you cannot give this to me, then I do not feel that, you know, again, maybe this kind of, let's say, point by point instruction manual, but it's like maybe you need to really lay it out there specifically. What is it that you will need in order to be open to a new go around? You know, maybe that's, again, it's all about communication. It's all about communication. There really needs to be talks here. Peaceful, calm, non-judgmental, non-attacking, you know, from a loving place. Like, if it's really something that you both want to work on, don't come at it again with anger and resentment and all this stuff. It's like, just be honest, heart to heart. Honestly discuss your feelings. Honestly discuss your needs, your expectations. Again, and what you've learned, how you've grown, what you're willing to do, what efforts you're willing to put in. You know, clean it up. And on that note, geez, it's 52 minutes. On that note, I send you love and light. I wish you healing and luck in regards to this and anything else you might be going through. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment if you haven't already. And also be sure to check. I'm having a real, see, it's so funny. I'm having such a hard time talking tonight. I keep stumbling over my words. And maybe it's because I'm picking up on the energy of the difficulty in the communication here, that I'm having a difficult time communicating. But please check out, you know, the Facebook, the Instagram. You know, I post daily polls on those two things. Again, all those links are down below, as well as, you know, Twitter. I haven't done much on the blog as of late, but I'm working on something for this weekend. But check out the other things too. Again, if you'd like to have daily tarot messages and stuff, join the Instagram and the Facebook. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.